Monkey Wrench is a science fiction web series created by Joshua Palmer, aka Zuro. The development of the series started in 2020 and premiered the first pilot, The Ghost Egg, on July 18th, 2022. And my god, what an amazing premiere it was. The animation is stunning, the writing is immaculate, the soundtrack is beautiful, the character designs range from awesome to adorable, and I am so happy to say that it only got better the more the series went on. Not only did the show's quality go up, but so did the depth of its characters. And today I'm going to be talking and analyzing the show's main character, Shrike Sanchez. Before we dive into what makes Shrike great as a character, I highly recommend you go watch Monkey Wrench first. Some things that I will say in this video will not make sense if you don't. And now, without further ado, let's begin. Former League of Aligned Worlds aka Law employee, Shrike left that line of work to forge his own path and find riches amongst the stars alongside his best friend Beebs. He has a lazy demeanor, a gambling addiction, and an absolute no-regrets attitude, but that's merely just the surface of Shrike as a person. You see, Monkey Wrench is the type of show that allows you to enjoy the story casually while also adding subtle cues for the characters between the lines for those who seek them. For an example, in episode 3, Beebs says that he's worried about how Punty, the Lithop, is the last of his species, and Shrike's reaction is complete dismissal, saying that Law will give him a job and he'll just keep on going, which is not only showcasing Shrike's experience with Law, but also giving us a part of the real story as how he got here. But to get a much clearer picture, we must give our attention to episode 5 of the show, Interlooper, as it gives us the biggest amount of insight into Shrike as a person. The second part of the story comes where we are shown what is presumed to be a Terran, aka Dolian Crow, and as we are shown, he looks like a corrupted version of Shrike, and after examining Shrike, he says, "No, are you?" And if that wasn't on the nose enough, he says the most Shrike thing ever, as a thing that his species was fond of saying, "No risk, no reward," showing us the audience that Shrike is most likely a Terran as well. The third part of the story comes in the part where Dolian tries to make his escape, where we see Shrike desperately trying to make things right and save his line of work, while Beebs tells him that Punty needs help, that he's all alone. Shrike is too focused on the moment and says that he should just get used to it. He was that focused on making this work. The fourth part comes in near the ending of the episode, where we hear a Spanish woman saying, "Please, whatever happens, you have to be good." Something that we've seen Shrike repeat to himself before. This explains why he speaks Spanish despite not being a human. He was most likely raised by a human woman. Now, with all of this information in mind, it is very safe to assume that Shrike is not only a Terran, but the last of his kind. The only one. Forced to live and be raised in a foreign planet, completely and utterly alone in every sense of the word. His only option was to get used to it. Which then leads me back to Shrike's dismissal, no-regrets attitude that we see throughout pretty much the whole show. It is a shield that he puts on himself to simply not feel any emotions, to distance himself from pretty much the whole world and focus on what makes him happy, to an insidious degree, as we see with his gambling addiction in episode 4. He bet all their money, and he lost all of it. Which leads me to what is, in my opinion, the best line in the whole show.
This is all I have.
The utter dejection and dread that this one line has is immaculate, and it's for a good reason too. When Beebs tells Shrike that he won't meet him back at the bucket, the world that he thought he had crumbled in front of his eyes. His best friend, his only friend, the only person that stomached his nonsense for God knows how long. The one person he values so much that even while drunk, while completely filterless, he says that he's great and fully means it, won't see him again. That red suit was truly all that he had at that moment. And that is utter brilliance in subtle character writing right there. But that's not the end, not at all. I've yet to mention the paradise scene. The paradise scene in episode 5 is simple but oh so beautifully symbolic. The first symbolism that we can see is Shrike's suit melting in the sand, most likely meaning him finally accepting at least a bit of his past and letting it wash away. The second symbolism can be found when he picks up the green and throws it into the ocean. The green here is symbolic for his trauma and how he refuses to even confront it, letting it fester in his ocean of thoughts. And well left and checked, it will swallow him whole. He has to face these thoughts and feelings head on. It's time to let yourself have regrets. It's time to stop distancing yourself from everything. It's time to stop getting used to it. Shrike's character sounds like it's entering a new stage of development, as I think will be the case for episode 6, and I really hope that's the case because, my god, this show has been truly amazing with its character writing and I cannot wait to see more. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. It's always fun discussing Monkey Wrench after all, and I apologize if this analysis wasn't that good. This is kind of my first ever time doing this type of content, and mistakes are bound to be made. Anyway, this has been Duka, and I hope you have a good one.